Let's talk. Welcome back. It's so good to have you here again. Whether you've been here since episode 1 or this is your first time stepping into this space, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for choosing to pause in the middle of whatever life has going on for you right now. Thank you for showing up, not just for me, but for yourself. Because this podcast, it's never been about giving answers. It's been about asking better questions. It's been about walking with you while you figure out your own next steps and reminding you that you don't have to walk that road alone. Earlier this week, I had a conversation I can't stop thinking about. One of my older students reached out, someone I've mentored on and off over the years. Brilliant, driven, thoughtful, the kind of person who sets a goal and doesn't stop until they've reached it. He had been on track to earn his PhD. And when I say on track, I mean everything was lined up. The program, the papers, the thesis, the long nights, the publishing deadlines. It was all happening. But he called me not to celebrate progress. He called me because he wanted to walk away. And not just walk away quietly. He wanted to let go of the entire pursuit. The years, the investment, the identity he had built around being the one who was going to make it. I could hear the hesitation in his voice, the guilt, the fear, the quiet hope that I might say, "You're not crazy. You're allowed to change direction." And I did, because I've learned through my own detours that sometimes the bravest thing you can do is stop chasing what no longer fits you. That's what today's episode is about. The courage to let go, to start again, not because you failed, but because you've grown. You see, the world often praises consistency. It tells us to finish what we start, push through, don't quit, keep going. And sometimes that's exactly what we need. Sometimes we do need to persevere, but other times what we need is permission to pivot, to admit that the dream we once had, as beautiful as it was, is no longer the dream we're meant to chase. And that's hard, because when you walk away from something you've been known for, when you let go of the identity you've wrapped yourself in, there's a grieving process. You grieve the time you put in. You grieve the version of yourself who believed this path was forever. You grieve the expectations others had for you. And you even grieve the feeling of certainty, that illusion that this was always going to be the plan. But here's the truth. Plans change. People grow. And letting go doesn't mean you've lost your way. It means you've found the courage to choose a better one. I remember talking to that student and asking him, if this path was no longer connected to your purpose, then why are you still walking it? He was quiet. Then he said, because I thought walking away would mean I failed. And I said to him something I've had to say to myself many times. Sometimes staying in what you've outgrown is the bigger failure. Let's be honest. We all have something we've held onto for too long. Maybe it's a job that looks good on paper, but drains the life out of you. Maybe it's a relationship where you've become unrecognizable to yourself. Maybe it's a belief you've carried about who you have to be that no longer feels like truth. Whatever it is, I want to tell you what I told him. You are allowed to pivot. You are allowed to start over. You are allowed to say, this no longer serves me. And not because you're giving up, but because you're choosing to live more honestly. Now here's where it gets really real. Letting go sounds good in theory, but in practice, it's terrifying. Because after you release what's no longer right, there's a space, an empty, quiet space where you don't yet know what's next. And that space is uncomfortable. We've been taught to fill it quickly, to replace it, to rush into something new, to prove we're still worthy. But what if we sat in that space for a little while? What if we let ourselves be in between? Not the person we used to be, not yet the person we're becoming, just present, open, listening, because I believe that's where the real clarity begins. So, if you're in that space right now, if you've recently let go of something, or you're thinking about it, I want to share a few things I've learned. Not rules, not formulas, just quiet truths from someone who's had to start over too. Number 1, just because something lasted a long time doesn't mean it still belongs. Longevity isn't proof of alignment. You can be in something for years and still feel deeply misplaced. Don't mistake time invested for purpose fulfilled. Other people's opinions aren't your compass. When you let go of a job, a degree, a relationship, a dream, people will have something to say. Some will project their fear onto you. Some will question your choices, and some will disappear altogether. Let them, because you don't need everyone to understand. You just need to be honest with yourself. Number 3, starting over is not starting from scratch. Every experience you've had, every failure, every lesson, every version of yourself comes with you. You are not empty. You are full of wisdom, full of clarity, full of quiet power that only comes from walking through hard things. So when you start over, you're not starting from nothing. You're starting from knowing. Letting go is not a single act. It's a process. Some days you'll feel peace, other days you'll feel doubt. Both are part of the journey. Give yourself grace. You are not behind. You're not late. You're not broken. You're evolving. That student of mine, he didn't walk away lightly. He walked away with intention. He walked away to protect his joy, to rediscover his purpose, to build something new from a place of truth. And that is something I will always honor. So maybe today you're standing in front of something you know you need to release. Maybe you've been ignoring the signs, pushing it down, telling yourself, it's not that bad. But what if you gave yourself permission to say, this was good, but it's no longer good for me? What if you trusted that the courage to walk away might lead you to something better than you've ever imagined? Not easier, not faster, but better, because it's aligned. So here's what I want to leave you with today. A question. What are you still holding on to that you've already outgrown? What would happen if you let it go? Not with bitterness, but with gratitude? Gratitude for what it taught you. Gratitude for who it allowed you to become. Gratitude for the chapter it gave you and the one it's now making space for. Thank you for being here today, for showing up to this moment, for listening with your whole heart. If this episode resonated with you, I'd love to hear from you. And if you know someone who's standing at the edge of change, send this to them. Let them know they're not alone. This season, we'll keep digging into these deep places together. So if you haven't already, subscribe, follow along, and walk this journey with me. Because starting over isn't weakness, it's wisdom. And as long as you're becoming, I'm with you.